welcome and thank you for being here with us. Basically, we're here to talk about how to maximize your earnings on social media with vidyo.ai. And we've got an amazing guest with us today. Hi, Akil. How are you doing?
Amazing. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. So, let me introduce our guest today to you all. Akil is the founder of AI Inner Circle, a large community for AI enthusiasts. He's also co founded Baba Media, a marketing agency with many notable clients. Starting out by filming for motivational speaker Eric Thomas, Akil has since worked with top Fortune 500 companies like Adobe, Delta Airlines, and Cadillac. Thank you, Akil, for being here with us. We are very privileged to have you.
Thank you. Love your app. I'm excited to talk about it.
Awesome. So, before we begin the masterclass, we have a sweet little offer for all the audience members here. If you use the code AKIL67 off, that is AKIL67OFF, you get an additional 16% off on your growth annual plan, leading to 67% off. Please do not share that code. That's exclusive for you guys today, and the code can't be there forever. So make sure to take advantage of it during the event. If you go on the vidyo.ai app and click upgrade, you will see a code section where you can input the code and then it's going to ask you for your credit card details. It's that simple. And if you have any additional questions, just drop them in the chat box and our support team will be more than happy to assist you. So, once again, if you want to get 67% off the growth annual plan, just use the code AKIL67 off during the event. And yeah, happy creating videos on vidyo.ai. So, okay, we're going to start with the event now. And Akil, I want to start off by asking you, how did you manage to gain 180,000 followers in just 3 months on social media?
I think that, and that's why, first of all, I'm so excited to talk to you guys. And I'm happy that the people are watching. They can probably get a lot of value from this. But when it comes to growing on social media, I really learned that, yes, it has a lot to do with quality and it has to do with quantity and it has to do with like knowing what niche or thing to talk about. But as soon as I kind of figured out what I want to talk about, because when I'm bored, I just look up AI tools all the time. And the thing that I was struggling with was basically talking about an AI tool on a consistent basis and delivering it to an audience. And when I found a tool like video, and you guys just basically helped me crank out these videos faster because I'm using AI to edit. It's not just me editing. It's like me just talking in front of a camera. Like even you can use your iPhone if you guys are watching. And after that, you just drop it in video and then it can help you just add the B-roll and every other thing that you need, like subtitles or whatever, right? And it got more and more advanced as it's been going. But I would just say like, when it comes to just me growing on social media, it was just me putting out good content on a consistent basis. And this tool definitely helped me do that.
Awesome. And what inspired you to start creating content in the first place? How did you handpick the social media platforms that you're going to put out the content on?
So what inspired me to put out content is like, just, I guess it was a combination of things. Like just not really wanting to work a job. That was number one. And I just saw like little kids. Like I had a cousin, he was like 17 years old. He was a streamer and he was making like around $20,000 like US a month just online. And I was just mind blown. Like, bro, like you're just sitting in front of a camera, cutting on, your computer and you're making that amount of money. So that was really shocking to me. And I was also touring around with Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker, and I worked with another guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, who's big in the space. And watching those guys really make millions and millions of dollars and inspire so many people, because you can sit in whatever village or city you're from and talk to like the people around you and you can reach some people. But when you talk online and you get good at talking online, I can post something and literally reach millions of people in like an hour. And then I can change somebody's life across the world. Like, for example, I had a student early on. He was from Azerbaijan, the country, and he's 15 years old. He just turned 15 years old. And when he just turned 15 years old, he was watching some of my content that I was putting out. And he went on to make I think he made like $16,000 in his first 2 months just watching
Wow.
my content because he was applying some of the tools that he was learning. And it was just so mind blowing to me that I'm like, wow, I just changed an entire village over in Azerbaijan, and like, fuck, because a 15-year-old kid just started changing his mom's life and everything. So yeah, that's what really inspired me. And when it came to picking the platforms, I would just say that I was using Instagram a lot. So that's the platform I use the most. But I also use YouTube, so I use that a lot too. But I feel like whatever platform you use, that's probably the one that you should be creating content on. If it's TikTok or if it's LinkedIn or whatever, because you're getting on it all the time. But instead of being like such a consumer, you can be a producer.
Right. And since you were creating content for different platforms, what were the strategies that you were applying that was specific to each of these platforms that you were creating content for, especially when you were creating it with the mindset that you want to earn from social media when you're creating this content?
Yeah, so I think that the content strategy that I had was I wanted to be in a position to make money. So I was like, how can I make money? I can position myself as a resource hub, right? Like, for example, I talk about artificial intelligence because I'm interested in artificial intelligence, but I talk about how other people can use these tools to succeed in business, for example, video, right? So I think that by me doing that, I position myself in a place where I can make income because I'm actually helping people achieve their goals. So that's an individual that will want to pay me because I just got a client, because I just helped them make more money in their life. And also the company will want to pay me because I'm helping bring more users to their company. So I think that when it comes to creating content, you have to think about how you're changing other people's life and is it actually useful? Like, it's funny because someone talked to me about this the other day and they were like, yo, how do I don't want people to use me, and people always try to use me when they call me and they always call me for something. And I'm like, well, I want people to use me because basically that means I'm valuable. So every day a company uses me or people use me to talk about their tools or their companies, and that's what helps me get paid. So I think you want to make yourself useful. And a tool like video, once again, I know we're going to dive deeper into this, but this helps you get more exposure no matter what niche you're in. If you're like selling things about cats or you're selling, hard drives, doesn't matter what it is or what niche it is, you can gain and get in front of so many more people and basically attract your ideal customer base, essentially.
Right, that makes sense. And how did you start earning your first income from social media? Like, what was that experience like? And what was the hustle, or what was the struggle, or what were the challenges that you had to endure to get to the part where you actually made your first income off of social media? So, just
Mm.
tell me about that experience a little bit.
Wow. So how I started was actually through selling products. And I think this is probably one of the easiest ways to make money on social media because say for example, I've got like a product on my desk right now. It's like a thing where I like click it and it just pulls up things for me on my computer. So like I would just use a tool like this and be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then the video will get views and then people will purchase it. And I would have a link in that video. So people will purchase it through me. Then all of a sudden, that's how I initially started to make money online. And I was doing that through different products on a site called Musically. Before now, Musically was bought by TikTok. But that essentially, I think, opened my eyes to be like, wow, I can actually make money from using my everyday tools. I mean, literally, like people don't realize how, I don't want to say easy, but how possible it is. Like, even if I just show you this thing right here, and then you guys watching see it and like, oh my gosh, that's cool. And then I have a link to it. People are impulsive, they want to buy. So if I had a link to this product, they would just go click it and then buy it. So I feel like it's not really selling, it's almost like referring people to things that I was already doing. And then for me, I'm like, if I create content every single day, so that's 365 pieces of content or 366 pieces of content a day, and I talk about something, people will probably buy it. So that's affiliate marketing. And that's one thing that I really loved about getting into social media and making money. But that's just one avenue, but that's where I started. And it branched off in a whole bunch of different directions. But I think that's something that's easy to get into. And having a tool like video too, and I know we can talk about this, but having a tool about like video, you can literally write a text prompt about, hey, help me find B-roll about a bike. And then all of a sudden it'll provide a whole bunch of bike pictures and things. And then you can sell your bike bell that has I don't know, what is those things called? Like a tracker inside of it. And you can make a whole bunch of money doing that. So there's so many ways.
Right. So this prompts my next question. What was the deadlock that you hit with content creation and distribution that prompted you to use vidyo.ai in the first place?
Mhm.
Like, what were the challenges that you were facing with distributing the content? And I'm assuming that now you have multiple income streams, and you're making money off of different services and products off of social media. So, what was the deadlock that you hit that got you to use a content repurposing platform like ours?
Wow, great question. So I think that a big thing that you're going to run into as an online creator, a content creator, or a business owner in general, and I know a lot of you may have ran into this or you are going to run into it, especially if you're on this call, you're probably going to run into this problem. But for me, being producing content online and starting to make income from all different directions, it was like companies will come to me and they're like, hey, I want you to edit this video for me. And I'm like, okay, I can edit this video. And I know I'm getting paid to edit this video. And then I would try to outsource this to editors, but it would take a while for the editors to give me that content back. So that was number one issue, was just timing on producing the content. That was number one. And number two was I had too many things on my plate. Like I'm supposed to respond to emails, do email marketing. I'm supposed to actually run the business, that whatever business I'm doing. I've got a social media marketing agency, got an artificial intelligence agency, I've got a travel company, I've got all these things going on. It's like you don't have that much time in a day. So if you want to edit something, it may take you 3 hours to edit a video. So for me, I'm like, I was always looking at the cutting edge, like what is the best editing software that I can use so I can do it fast and it efficiently, like not just like producing some crap, like actually do it good. And that's what ran me into video, because it was able to edit my videos and assist me editing my videos. And now my editor's editing the videos super fast and efficiently. And it's faster than anything. Like you literally can just text a few words and then it can create your entire video. It's insane. So I think that just trying to save time was probably the biggest thing, and save money, because if I didn't save time, I wouldn't make more money. So
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So, you know how your journey started with you doing affiliate marketing, and now you run a marketing agency where you're working for companies and entrepreneurs. We were talking about this initially. You're editing podcast content, and you have these hundreds of content pieces that you not only have to edit but also distribute, and you have to help these companies make money also. So, do you think that, for these companies or for small business owners, hosting podcasts on social media, is that a profitable strategy? Is that a way for uh, companies and small business owners to make money off of social media?
yes, 1000%. Because I think first of all, when it comes to podcasting, like it is more of a referral. Say if I do a talking head video and I'm just telling you about something, it's like people are like, okay, do I trust this guy? He's probably scamming me. He may be lying to me. But when they see you getting interviewed in a podcast sense, people just automatically assume that you're an authority. Like, for example, I don't know, a lot of you guys probably seen people like Alex Hormozy or these big influencers pop up. They're basically talking on a whole bunch of podcasts. So then you just assume that they know what they're talking about. So companies do the same thing. They're like, they see something on a podcast and sales and revenue generates, it definitely increases from being on podcasts. That's why you see so many of these big creators on podcasts all day, because you can talk about something for 30 seconds or for 20 seconds or something online and it's cool. But if you talk about something for an hour and someone spends at least 6 to 9 minutes with you, they'll probably buy something from you. So I think that podcasts definitely help you in general. Yeah, drive revenue.
Right. And you have a travel channel by the name of Black Kids Travel, where
Yeah.
you are trying to create a travel community. You said that you also create YouTube shorts for that channel where you're sharing fun facts about countries, using vidyo.ai. How has that experience been? what has been your learning curve with the
Mm.
platform, and how has that sort of helped you to make an initial income, or to even sort of like perhaps make a potential income in the future?
Wow, that was a great one. So I think that this is huge for you guys that are listening, first of all, because we do this pretty much all just using video. So basically, when it comes to Blackish Travel, when it comes to our YouTube channel, it's basically a travel company where we help kids that are less fortunate travel because we want to change the narrative. So what we do is we give fun facts about every single country in the world, but I'm not able to just sit and just dig and look at all these fun facts about every country in the world and grab all the B-roll from every country in the world and then produce it. All I do is sit down and just talk and read a script pretty much about a country in the world, like let's just say the country Azerbaijan, like I said. But then video just goes ahead and creates the B-roll from Azerbaijan, the city. It can create like all the subtitles and things like that. So we're able to produce those videos so fast. And I literally watched that channel go from zero to, I think we're at like 47,000 subscribers right
Wow.
now on YouTube. And it was literally 99.3% probably all from shorts, just from shorts, generated fast through a tool like video, because we're able to just produce all of these short form contents about every country. I wouldn't even like, it would take me so long to do that if I didn't use a tool like that. Like you would need to hire so many editors to go ahead and do all the digging and research and then add all the B-roll and everything. So this tool right here just helps just cut down on that process so much.
Right. I want to take an audience question at this moment. So Elizabeth asks if you had prior training on social media, or did you end up discovering everything by yourself? What was your 9 to 5 like, and how did you sort of pivot into content creation?
Well, great question. So I think I was very fortunate, like I grew up in like Metro Detroit, Michigan in America, which is a very dangerous area of America. And I don't know, I feel like I worked and I did jobs like anybody else. But what happened was I was very upset at my life when I was young. So I was like 16 years old and I was upset at my life because I didn't want to turn out, like everybody else that was around me. So what I did was I just went really hard on studying marketing because I started working with these guys that were older than me and they were doing network marketing. So I started to learn that pyramid schemes, what people call it, but I actually made a lot of money doing it. I made around 6 figures when I was younger. So with this money, I didn't know what to do with it. And I invested in a program called Thinking into Results by this guy named Bob Proctor, who was a big social, or he's a big public figure. He passed away now. But through that, he told me to just hold a camera and follow him around. So I learned how to be a videographer when I was young. And then from there, it kind of taught me a little bit about editing because I was recording all the videos. So I would say that I started young in my content creation career, or learning how to create content career. And that was even before people were really posting on Instagram. This is back when I was using an app called Vine. So I was creating product, like I was creating content back on Vine. Then from there, I transitioned to being in rooms with big creators like Eric Thomas, who I mentioned, and Gary Vaynerchuk. And I worked with the guy named Ty Lopez, who's big in the space also. He created his content. And I was basically creating content for creators for so long, so I knew I can do it for myself. But I noticed too that, and I've seen so many people that didn't have as much experience than me that just surpassed me so fast because they just knew what they wanted to talk about. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something that you're passionate about, right? Like, so for me, I knew I was passionate about travel. I knew that I was passionate about new technology, and I love just learning things when I'm bored. So I think for you guys listening, if you're someone that is really trying to find your thing, whatever it is that you do when you're bored, or just look on your Instagram feed and whatever you see, if it's like, I don't know, people shooting potatoes out of a potato gun, I don't know, random, or people selling clothes, whatever it is, just talk about that thing consistently because there's so many people a step behind you. And I think that's what I really learned on my content creation career. And that really helped me just talk on a consistent basis in front of a camera. And that helped me propel to the next level. And the last thing that I'm going to say about that is I actually filmed myself for almost, I would say, 4 months. I literally put a camera in front of me on my phone and just talked in front of it every night, like a daily doc. And I didn't post it, but that gave me the confidence to talk in front of the camera, which basically it was easy for me to just sit here in front. And if you guys see me on Instagram or anything, that's what gave me the confidence to just sit there and not get nervous talking in front of people.
Right. Your journey sounds very impressive. I feel like everything led you up to this moment. But you also talked about folks who are not very experienced, with social media, content creation, and video editing. And I feel personally for them, AI video editing tools can often be, a boon, a godsend, right? But with so many AI video editing tools in the market, ChatGPT also recently introduced Sora, and Sora is going to change the game for movie making. What, according to you, is the USP of video.ai? Like, what attracted you to video.ai in the first place?
Yeah, first of all, I would say one big thing is the team. Like you can tell from just like being on this call that you guys are amazing. Like what you do, you care about the app. You're always innovating things, and that's one big thing that I love about video.ai. And another thing, like you mentioned about Sora, Sora is some new technology that's probably going to change the world. But you can use that type of stuff already when it comes to video AI. You can just go in there and just type in your prompt on what you want to see, and it can already create it. So that's huge. You should take advantage of that now. And I think that that alone really attracted me, and just the ease of use, because it doesn't matter if you used something like me. I edited movies before. Like I edited a movie called Peppermint, which was literally a Hollywood film, and I lived in Hollywood. So you can use something like Premiere Pro, but I can almost do the same exact thing with a tool like video, and it's self-explanatory. Like you can just go in there for the first time and know what to do. It's not like you need to take courses on how to use it or anything like that. It's just so simple to use. So I think that when it comes to competitors of video, like the other tools that I've used similar to video, this was definitely the easiest one to use, and it wasn't complicated for the people that work for me now to use it.
Right, right, right. And so I want to segue into, how you ended up going from making your first income off of social media to increasing the revenue that you were generating off of it. And the best way to increase your revenue is definitely to diversify your social media platforms, right? So, how did you end up putting systems and processes in place to diversify your social media platforms? Because what content creators often struggle with is consistency across all social media platforms. Like if they would start focusing on Instagram too much, YouTube would go haywire, or you're ignoring TikTok audience. So how do you diversify your social media platforms, keeping in mind that you can generate revenue from these different social media platforms, and you have to make sure that your focus is on all of them?
Yeah, I would say like when it came to generating like income on social media and then growing the income source, it's just first of all, like you said, consistency and sticking to the same thing. Like for example, all you have to do is have an idea, like we've been talking about on this call. Like I don't know, for example, and I love doing random things because you literally use anything. Like let's just say pins, right? Like this is a pin by I don't know what company has this pin, but this there's so many people that are pin enthusiasts, let's just say. So if I just spent 360 something days and talked about every single pin, because I'm sure there's thousands or millions of different pins, and I talked about every single pin, I would grow a huge audience of people that are obsessed with pins. And then all of a sudden, the pin companies will start to come to me. So it's like a snowball effect. You start off when you get one fish, right? Like, and you asked a question about how I produce content with my company, Black Kids Travel, on YouTube. We got a sponsor from, and I can't mention the sponsor's name, but we've got a big sponsor who sponsors all my trips now. Now I can take a team of 20 to every country. Like this year, I live in South Africa, but we're going to every country in Africa. But that's all based on our content from doing this using a tool like video. So I think at the end of the day, like, and that's diversifying my content. But at the end of the day, it comes from being able to create quality content on a specific thing, just like making pins consistently. And then from there, a tool like video can help you. You guys have a scheduler too, so it can help you schedule your content onto other platforms and distribute them. So it's not even like you have to always be on them, because you can't just like, you can't like, I'm not on every platform all the time. Like I produce content on, I don't know, daily content on YouTube right now, shorts, daily content on TikTok, on Instagram, on all these platforms, but the only one that I get on is Instagram, you know?
Can't be
Like, but I'm on
everywhere.
all of them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I think that by focusing on one, but also just shooting for all, you're able to distribute them with just sitting down one time and creating content.
Yeah, personally, I also think that the social media automation feature of vidyo.ai can help you just sort of go everywhere, be everywhere, like literally just sort of clone yourself, because you just have to post once and you've um, shared your content across all social media platforms. That's definitely helpful when you want to increase your revenue streams. I also do want to talk about platform specific strategies that work best for monetizing the video content. So I want to start off with your favorite platform, Instagram. What are the strategies that worked best for you when you were monetizing video content on Insta?
Cool. So I think there's strategies that work good. And also, I want to give a shout out to a creator. Her name's Jenna Kutcher. She has a strategy. She calls it the JK5 method. But basically, she has like 5 different things that she does. Like, and I may butcher these because I may just give you 4, 5. I don't know if I can do it. But one is like behind the scenes content. Another one is like a talking head content, like when you're selling your stuff. Then another thing that you can do is do like a day in the life type of content, to where it's not exactly behind the scenes. And then also like your process on like how do you create the content or whatever. So at first I started off doing content like that, to where I did like lifestyle, then I did this type, then I did that type, then I did talking heads. And I just continuously did that until one of them popped off. And then the one that popped off for me was the talking head videos. So I think that by understanding what people want that follow you is huge, because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, the algorithm doesn't like me or yada yada. It's not that. It's just it's confused at the end of the day. So like you just have to give it clear direction on where you want to take it, and then the platforms will help you. They want to help you because they want more people on their platforms. They want people to be addicted to their apps. So at the end of the day, they want you to create content, and they want you to create good content. They want you to get views, So I think at the end of the day, you just have to like focus on what it is you want to talk about. And what I did was just talk about the same thing, which was different artificial intelligence tools, because that's what I was learning when I was bored. And that strategy, okay, here it goes. My biggest tip that I probably can give you guys is follow the things that make you go wow. Like when you see something that and you're like, wow, that's cool, make content about that. Because if you say wow, someone else watching is going to say wow. And then if they say wow, then they'll start following you because they want to get wowed more often, because it's dopamine in their brain. So I think at the end of the day, that's what I did. I just, when I was looking at things online, and it piqued my interest, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I just talked about it. And that's my biggest strategy or biggest hack. And then you use tools like video to actually create the videos for you.
Yeah. So how useful are, subtitles, captions, and hashtags? How integral are they to the strategies that you're using to monetize your content on Insta?
So yeah, great one too. Captions, it took me so long to get along with this, because at first I was like, I don't like captions on my videos. But then I realized there's so many people, just by statistics, so many people watch videos without like without with the
Sound.
audio on. So they're
Yeah.
really just reading it, And then some people start following you. Like for me, I just made content in English and started talking. But then I just realized I've got so many people that follow me in Brazil. I've got so many people that follow me in India or in Nigeria and all these places around the world. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, I can make it in their language too by using AI, but it's better if I can just like put the subtitles there and they probably can read it maybe. So yeah, it's definitely good and definitely helpful. And I recommend everybody just add those to all of your videos. And then when it comes to captions, I use hashtags here and there, but I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing is just making good content and understanding how retention works, like getting people's attention when they first click the video. Because at the end of the day, to people that listen to you, they're looking at your content through their lens. So they want to know what they can gain. So if you can say, here's how you can find great pins, and then you just tell them exactly how they can find great pins. Like first you go over to this website and there you got this pin. But I think that's where I see a lot of creators go wrong. They try to explain something to someone, but they don't tell them right away what they need to, what they're watching for. So just by you doing that little thing, you'll see your content explode.
Right, absolutely. I want to chime in here to say that video.ai supports subtitles in languages other than English, like Spanish, German, and French. We plan to incorporate additional languages also to cater to a broader audience because we keep getting requests. So that's definitely on our future roadmap. And you can also generate captions for those videos. Instantly using AI, and even generate hashtags before you hit the schedule button or just post directly on your socials from video.ai. So that's another tip for our audience here. Okay, let's move on to YouTube then. What strategies do you think work best for monetizing video content on YouTube?
YouTube, I think that it always changes. And now it's moving into this like authentic vibe. Before it was like you had to put a whole bunch of things moving and stuff like that to keep people's attention. But people just want to connect with real people. So I think if sometimes like let's just say if you have a YouTube channel, I think what's best is just to cut on the camera and just start talking. Because if you just start talking every day and just posting it on YouTube, you'll get better and better every day because you don't want to look dumb. And then people will start to watch and you'll see your views go from 1 view to 20 views. And all of a sudden you get, 100 views and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, like I've got an audience now. Let me basically make this a little bit better. So then I think my biggest strategies too is just to be authentic when it comes to YouTube and then tell people why you're making the video right away. Like I mentioned before, even on Instagram. So you can use ton of different strategies when it comes to YouTube. I know so many creators that are making so much money on YouTube. And for me, my biggest strategy is just consistency. And like I said, I love to do reels and not even that many long form content because I've seen my channel Black Kids Travel explode. Like it didn't take much time at all, maybe 4 months to go from 0 to almost 50,000 subscribers. So subscribers are huge when it comes to YouTube. It's a big audience and people, they want to go deeper. And I think that YouTube is definitely here to stay and it's been around for a while. And it's probably the most powerful platform in my eyes.
Absolutely agree with you on that. How do you identify a hook for your YouTube shorts? How do you identify which snippet of your video has the potential to go viral and has the potential to do well on shorts? Because it's an altogether different ball game to create content for you, long form YouTube videos, and then to create content for short form YouTube videos. So, what is the difference in strategy there?
Wow. So this is going to be huge. And for you guys listening, I'm about to give you guys a huge tip. I share this in my paid community and I don't really share this much. But basically, we've got a hook, right? Like you mentioned, like I can say, for example, like, here is this pin video, but I start off by saying, like, here's this AI tool that you can't live without. So that's the hook, just telling people something they anticipate, something that grabs their attention. I can say, like, wait, listen to this. Here's this. So it's like a hook, right? But then after the hook, what most people don't tell you, but it's huge, and I call it the hug strategy. So after you hook them, you can say, like, for example, this is a tool that you need, video AI. And the hug would be, and don't worry, you can try this out for free. That's the hug. So it's like almost hugging them and reassuring them that they don't have to, they're not going to get scammed or they're not wasting their time. Or you can even say that, like, this isn't going to waste your time. Or you can say, just real quick, people love to see things really fast. So it's a lot of ways you can hug people in. But I think that's my biggest strategy, by first saying some type of hook. And then right after that, you can use a hug. And then a lot of hooks can be so many different things. It can be people love negativity. So you saying like, this is what not to do when you're traveling to Australia. That's a hook. And then I could say, don't worry though, you're not going to get robbed. That's a hug. So that's probably my biggest strategy when it comes to those, creating those pieces of content. You guys definitely should take notes on that one.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great tip actually. And what has also worked for the vidyo.ai audience is that they can use the platform's IntelliClip feature to just get good quality content that's already
Yes.
spliced, and that the AI sort of instantly identifies, some hook worthy short form content that you can post on your socials instantly. So that is incredibly helpful. What's also very resourceful is that we also provide virality scores on these videos. So, like a video
Huge.
with the highest virality score would have the potential to go viral, which is huge. It's huge for content creators. So, yeah, just wanted to chime in
Yeah.
there. That, yeah.
Yeah, that I gotta, yeah, just the key on that. That's huge too, because I've actually used that before. Like basically sometimes when I'm kind of blank or I don't know what to kind of hook people in, or I don't know what to say next, just seeing those things that have like a virality score, it like almost reassures me that I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like people are loving that, or that actually works. So I think that's very huge and helpful.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's very resourceful. And I also want to understand if you have any platform specific strategy for our TikTok audience. What sort of content can you create on TikTok and can help you earn money off of it? What sort of tips or hacks do you have for us there?
Yeah, it is funny because all the platforms are different, right? But like on TikTok, they don't really like the kind of content that I create on Instagram, which I use like very, I don't know, I use cameras like this. Like this is a Black Magic, which is a very like, I don't know, more expensive camera. And on TikTok, they just want you to use your phone front camera when you use, like they literally just want it to be authentic and raw. Like I can just say like, oh my gosh, video AI is really cool because it just helped me create 100 videos in 10 minutes. Like people love that. And then they just want to buy and click. So from there, they really love the raw content. So even if you don't have a camera and you just want to just record yourself, that works. And that may be your platform of choice, just raw content. And then you can just do like a talking to the camera type of shot, drop it into video AI, and then it'll add a little B-roll that you need for just making the video a little bit more entertaining and keeping the retention there.
Right, absolutely. And apart from platform specific strategies, I also think that understanding your audience demographics on these platforms is very essential and can sort of improve your earning potential. Right. So, how do you understand your audience demographics on these on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube?
Yeah, so I think I understand my audience, and I understand in a few ways. I know video, you guys have features that I know you're coming out with more, but features that help you with the analytics and things like that. But for me, what I do also is I understand that I love to give free value, and that's what I've been mentioning on this call a lot. Like by giving people free value, you gain an audience of people that are learning from you. So from almost you attract the people that are like you. And when you create content consistently all the time, all you're doing is creating an audience of you. You're creating people that do things similar to you. So I'm sure that people on this call may be more similar to me, like you guys are entrepreneurs, maybe early entrepreneurs, maybe you want to create more content, maybe you have a small business, you may be an editor, or you may be some type of graphic designer, but because that's usually the type of people I attract. So I know that I just make content tailored towards the stuff that I want to see. Like I said, that factor, right? So that's how I understand my audience mainly, just by knowing that they're me. And one creator actually helped me with this. His name's Hamza on YouTube, huge creator. But he basically talks about like the inner thoughts that he has with himself. He just says to the camera, then all of a sudden he has a whole army of people that are exactly like him. And then they will buy things from him if he has something to buy, or And a lot of times I don't even look at it like buying because I just refer people. Just like something that I'm using. Like if you watch a new movie and you love the movie, you tell your friends about the movie. Are you selling the movie? Technically, yes, but no, you're just telling them that you enjoyed the movie. So by me being on this call right now, yet am I like selling video? I guess technically yes, but no, I really enjoy video and it actually works. So I think that that's the biggest thing, and people will pay you for that, and companies that you align with will come towards you too.
Right. And since you're not only creating content for yourself, but you're also creating content for companies and other entrepreneurs, what are the ways that you predict, engagement levels on a video before it's been taken live? How do you know what kind of engagement to anticipate, and how will it impact the revenue on social media?
Yeah, so yeah, engagement rate does have a lot to do with it. And understanding what the platform wants is huge. For example, like getting on these calls, like it was a call with Instagram and they were talking about like basically how they're changing their policy to where they want you to post 3 times a day and they want you to let your stories run out for 24 hours. So a lot of people don't know that. So what they do is, sorry, not 3 times a day, 3 times a week. So a lot of people may go ahead and they may post once a week, or they may just post a ton of stories. So I think that that's huge. First of all, understanding which platform and what the platform wants, number one. And then another thing when it comes to like understanding the engagement rate and understanding like what people want is it directly tells you because the apps have like the statistics in there. And then I know you guys are coming out with more features that do that also. And I know some tools do that. But basically, like the videos that do well tell you everything and study those videos. Like, for example, when a video has 1 million views for me, I literally look at, what did I do differently in this video that maybe made it 1 million views? And I may have said, and or got straight to the point. And that's why I said to you guys, like, I've had so many trial and errors on my videos. Like sometimes I experimented with this, saying that, and then like it just didn't work. But when I got straight to the point with people, like, here's how this works, boom, the video started to go viral. And I see so many other creators doing that, especially the ones that are in my program. So yeah, I would say that that's probably the biggest thing with engagement or retention, just telling people right away what it is they're looking for.
Absolutely. And what metrics should you focus on to understand, your social media monetization progress? Like, what kind of numbers do you start receiving? And there comes a point at which you realize that, okay, you can make money off of it now, or you can start
Yeah.
monetizing it now, or you can sell things to your audience.
So when it comes to YouTube, it's right away. Like when it comes to YouTube, the thing about it is if you get 10 views on a video and you talk about I don't know, let's just say you talk about a pen. Once again, you're talking about the pen that you like to use. If you have a link in your bio to that pen, someone will click and buy that pen. So I think at the end of the day, it's just talking consistently, and then the metric that I would use to understand if people are ready, it has to be on YouTube. It's mainly comments, I guess you can say. Like if people comment back, that's usually when they like it. And then when it comes to Instagram, shares is huge when people are sharing your content around. So usually the wow content, if you're doing something that makes you go wow, people want to share that. So for me, I can tell when a video is going to perform well based on if a lot of people start sharing it right away. It's one big metric. But when it comes to earning money on the platform, a metric that you can use is just first of all putting out dope shit. Just put out cool content and you're going to earn money from it. Like I promise you, no matter what it is, you'll earn money from it, and companies will come to you. And if it comes to views are good, likes are cool. But at the end of the day, I think it comes from quality, and you want people to engage. You want people to comment. So that's
Yeah.
always a good and reassuring thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think personally, I also feel like engagement rate, the rate at which like folks are engaging with your videos, and definitely video views, are very essential for you to understand that at what stage can you, start monetizing your content. And like you told our audience, we are coming out with a social analytics feature very, very soon, where you'll be able to see analytics from all social media platforms in one place on our dashboard. So you will be able to uncover these insights like video views and engagement rates, and that will help you not only to optimize your marketing efforts, but also be able to anticipate or predict your earning potential on social media, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's on our future roadmap, and we're going to come out with it really soon. Now that I've segued into the platform, I'd love for you to tell our audience, because they're usually very curious about how content creators typically use vidyo.ai, what their video editing workflow is like. So could you just expand on that for our audience here?
Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm at a point of entrepreneurship to where like I do very minimal editing. So I have editors now. So my editors are using video.ai. So I can actually like see what they're doing inside of there. So they're just using it, like I said before, the workflow is I'll talk in front of the camera about a specific topic, and then I'll put that in a Google Drive. I could just upload it straight to the platform, but I put it in a Google Drive, and they go ahead and they drop that content inside the video. And then from there, they distribute the content from inside a video. And then they add the B-roll, they do everything. So they're able to like make it like an editing house or hub there. Then also a cool thing that you guys have is this thing called Vidi. And I know you may talk more about that in a little bit, but this thing is so dope because for me, I put out newsletters, I put out tweets, I put in LinkedIn posts, I put down a lot of content, but this thing basically turns your content that you put inside of there into all of this. So automatically it can turn it into newsletters, it can turn it into to anything written form, which is insane because now you have this like chat. Just imagine, like, I know a lot of you guys have used ChatGPT. Just imagine having ChatGPT trained on just your content. It's huge. You can do so many things. You can do infinite things with that. It can even help you to find your next video or what you can talk about in your next one. So it's huge.
Yeah, for sure. I know if you want to create more content out of your existing video content, we have Vidhi for you. So Vidhi is our AI content assistant that we introduced for our audience around the end of Feb and the first week of March. So Vidhi enables you to go truly multi-platform. What I mean by that is you can use Vidhi to create show notes, blogs, newsletters, emailers, any kind of content you want from the existing video content that you've inputted into the video.ai app. So yeah, I think it's truly transformational, especially because a lot of businesses and brands struggle with content repurposing. And we thought that if we are letting our audience repurpose their long form content into short, then why not all let them use that short form content to create more content out of it, right? And so we came up with the idea of Widi. So yeah, I think it's truly groundbreaking because it enables you to again reach out to a larger audience base, reach out to a massy audience, and again that sort of also helps you with monetizing not just your video content platforms but also your blogs and your newsletters, and that would truly be transformational for all the creators and for all the business owners out there.
Yes.
Awesome. So I also want to understand from you if there are any untapped opportunities for monetization on social media that budding creators often overlook. Any ideas that you have with respect to the kind of video content that's doing wonders right now when people are monetizing
Yes.
it to earn their income?
Yeah, so, and I think this is huge for using a tool like video because even if you're a type of person that doesn't want to show your face, you want to make content, you want to make money online, but you don't want to show your face. And some people in my community, they make faceless content. Like I've got these two women that live in the Middle East, they live in Saudi Arabia, and they make faceless content by basically just making videos from to like video, and then they just did two text prompts, and then it just provides them with a video. Because the thing is, people are searching things all the time. For example, like I've got a pool, and my pool always needs to get cleaned, and I just bought this like new like pool cleaner tool, right? But you can make content like that all day, just content about a specific thing, and people will start following you. Maybe you have the biggest pool cleaning channel, so you can make a faceless pool cleaning channel. That's an example, but you can do this about with anything. Just make a faceless channel, and you're able to crank these videos out. So I think that's a huge potential for people, especially if you just don't really want to be in front of the camera, but you want to put out consistent content. This is definitely probably the best opportunity because there's a lot of space for it. And there's, especially when you look for something and you don't see a lot of it. Like if you look for something specific, like, I don't know, phone holders, and you don't see a lot of it, you can be that person that creates those things for phone holding companies and just plug in that tool.
Absolutely. That sounds like a solid tip. I just want to announce to our audience, since we are nearing the end of our event, which was extremely insightful, that we have a sweet little offer for you. If you use the code AKIL67 off, that's AKIL67OFF, you get an additional 16% off on your growth annual plan, leading to 67% off. That code is not going to be there for you forever, and it's exclusive for you folks who are attending the event. So make sure that you take advantage of it. I want to thank you, Akil, for being here with us today and for
Thank you.
sharing some very, very solid tips for monetizing Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. That was very informative, not just for our audience, but also for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited for all the new features you guys are rolling out, and definitely will be supporting and using the tool. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Akil, for being here with us. I think we've addressed most of the questions that the folks have here in the chat. I also want to thank the support team here, helping me by manning the chat. Akil, I hope to see you super soon for another masterclass, perhaps.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.